Well, hello, baseball fans, and welcome to this edition of the T-Mobile Paul Kino Lamar Viking Baseball Coaches Show. I'm Bill Frawley. With me, as always, of course, head Viking baseball coach Paul Kino. Coach, how are you this evening?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great also. Really am. And it's easy to say, but I really am. Last week was a lot of stuff going on, but hey, good stuff. So.
Good.
Yeah. Well, again, I want to make note of T-Mobile as our sponsor for our technology. They are providing our internet power to do the webcast. We pulled one off on Friday night, had a little glitch at the beginning, and that little tower that they use in football, and they let us use it for baseball too. It just makes a world of difference because we have not had any broadcast interruptions, and the
Awesome.
concession stand gets to use it for their square reader, and we can use it also. It's amazing. So there's a
That's
good plug.
awesome.
And be sure and go visit anyone that's listening. If you're looking for internet service, go to T-Mobile on Lamar, and Austin Happel and the group there will be happy to take care of you. Tell them Lamar Athletics appreciates their support and sent you over there. So, well, Coach, it was a full week this past week because there was
Oh yeah.
a series with Martin started off Tuesday there, Friday home. Went to Ennis, and of course the sub-varsity teams got to play doubleheaders Wednesday night and then play Ennis on Saturday. So I got to say this: splitting with Martin is always a great thing because they're always a perennial,
Oh, they're a good baseball
stable.
program.
Yeah. So I'm just going to punt it to you, and you talk as much as you want about either game, and I'll just toss in some questions.
Oh, I mean, we went over there I went over there Tuesday and to Martin, and I thought the kids played well. We didn't have some breaks. We didn't get some breaks. We Quesada battled on the mound. He pitched well. Got behind in the count some. They're young, they're sophomores, they're competing though. They don't back down from anybody, and I love that fact about them. If he was behind a little bit, struggled with his off speed early in the game. Um, so first inning was they didn't hit the ball hard. They really didn't hit the ball hard, but about 3 or 4 times the whole night against him. First inning was some ground balls in the hole that got through. In the 6 hole in the shortstop, and they ended up scoring 2 runs. The next two they scored was either 1 or 2 outs, and he went 3-0 to a hitter, and threw a fastball on 3-0. Most kids take. He'd given him the green light, and the kid homered. I mean, so all of a sudden it's 4-0, and then we score. It's 4-1. You know, the inning before we scored our first run, or our only run that game, we had runner at third with less than 2 outs and didn't score him. We struck out to end the inning. So if we put a ball in play, because they played infield back, we'd been 4-2, or it'd been 4-1, and then we score another run, it'd been 4-2. Um, so we go to the next inning, and we get bases loaded, nobody out. So it's 4-1, bases loaded, nobody out. And Quesada hits a line drive and hits it right at the first baseman. First baseman goes up, makes a nice play, basically snow cones it. Almost came out of his mitt. And they end up doubling off Bernard at first base because he took his click steps, and it was just bang bang, and ended up doubling him
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And if that ball gets down the line, it's 4-3 with runners at first and third, maybe second and third, and nobody out. So it changed the complexion of the ball game. Their fans were loud, and we've had some young kids. We're playing some sophomores, and even kids that are maybe playing their first year of varsity baseball, as far as maybe being dependent on, uh, being on the field instead of being in the dugout.
Right.
And it's a little different. They were loud, and I mean it's 6A baseball. It's going to be two teams going after each other that are good baseball programs. And the fans were loud, and they started getting on some kids, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. They started getting on some of our players, and we didn't handle it exceptionally well for the first couple innings. But then we grew up and we learned to handle it. So overall, we didn't win game one on Tuesday, but I thought we performed okay. We played hard. We didn't back down. We weren't scared of them. Um, and we just made some mistakes, and we had to learn how to play under some adverse conditions. And then come Friday, we were at our place. They were still loud. They brought a great crowd,
Yeah, they
Martinsville.
did.
They were still loud. And, our kids handled it a lot better. We competed exceptionally well. Got a great pitching performance from Luke Lazier.
Oh my gosh,
7
yes.
innings, gave up 2 runs, but went 7 innings, pitched fantastic. We played good defense behind him. We come up with a couple runs. We end up going 10 innings, had a little controversy in the ninth. We doubled to lead off the ninth. And, what was weird is the home plate umpire, we got kids coming out of the dugout. I mean, obviously it's ninth inning. I mean, it's extra innings. It's competitive. It's Martin. We're home, lead off the inning with a double by our DH, Trey Keith.
Yeah.
The home umpire is yelling at our kids to get in the dugout. So I'm yelling back at them, get in the dugout. And all of a sudden I hear their side erupt. I'm like, what's going on? And, I walk over there and I was like, what's going on? And, and the umpire said, Coach, he didn't touch first. I had to make the call. I was like, are you serious? And so then, so they call him out saying he didn't touch first, then the lights go out. And then we get the lights back on in 30 minutes. To finish playing. And, in the 10th inning, but, obviously, Dooku came in and threw well. And Ben came in, came in and threw well. And then in the 10th, we get a 2-out single by Greco. And then Cooper Bernard comes up and ends up lacing it down the line. Pulls it and laces it down the first base line just inside the bag, and wheels Greco, scores from first base, and walk it off. And so it was a great ball game. It was very tense. It was a really good ball game when you win it, but it was just a good ball game.
And not to debate, but I think it was the 11th inning actually.
It might have been the 11th.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track. I'm picturing my score sheet, not to argue with you or try to
No,
make you
it
wrong.
very well could have been.
It was in one more extra inning, in fact. But what an incredible down the line hit that was, and like you said, Greco scoring from first. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
So I mean, it was a great game. It was great to see the kids get fired up that way. Big ball game. Then we go Saturday and we're kind of we're in that little hangover mode. We
Right.
won a really extra innings, really good ball game, played really well. We go over there and we jump out 5-0, and you could tell by our kids in the dugout. They were up against Martin. They were loud, but it wasn't. I don't know how to put it. It was more serious. Where all of a sudden Saturday we get up 5-0 and we're being loud in the dugout, but it's more joking around, more playing around.
Would it be fair to say that in that Martin game it was kind of like business type noise?
Oh yeah.
Sir, but I got you. Oh yeah, okay, go ahead.
And it became more like, I remember they said something to Jalen when he was up, and Jalen almost started laughing when he was hitting at the plate.
Oh.
And I mean, that's what I mean. They were joking and they weren't serious about it. And
Gotcha.
and Ennis came back and beat us. And I mean, they're a decent ball club there, but I think we're better than they are. But they came back and beat us. And, like I told the kids, I said, don't be mad. I said, we did this, we didn't take them serious. You guys thought the game was over before we ever started playing. And I said, tell me if I'm wrong. And they're like, no. And I was like, I said, the sign of a good baseball team and what we got to get better at is showing up and playing at the same level every single day. It
consistency, right?
Doesn't matter. Yep, consistency. It doesn't matter who you're playing. It doesn't have to be Martin or Arlington or South Grand Prairie, Bowie or whoever. Whoever you show up to play against, you show up and you play the same way every single day. And that's part of growing up and being mature and having consistency. And I said, right now, I was upset, but I said, the bottom line is it's over with. It's done. If we can learn from it, then that's the most important thing is, getting beat on a Saturday in a non-district game because you didn't show up is better than getting beat on a Tuesday or Friday because you didn't show up.
Right.
So, as long as we learn from it and understand, that's the beauty of coaching, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. So.
Well, you just took some burden of guilt off of me, Coach. And I'll tell you, I hadn't told you this yet as we were talking at other times, but So I'm announcing the JV games and Brent White is running scoreboard, and we both had game changer up watching the stats on the score on the varsity game. And I had just announced over the speakers, well, in the bottom of the third, whatever inning, it's the at the varsity game in Ennis, it's 5-2. Lamar leads.
Mhm.
And I swear right after that, it just turned around.
Oh
And I
yeah.
had that guilt of sportscasters jinx. So I
Oh
apologize if that contributed to it.
no, no. I mean, we just gotta,
Yeah.
we're a good baseball team. We
Oh,
showed that.
yeah.
We showed how we can play. It's just, you got to do certain things. And I'm a big person about doing the same thing over and over. You do it a certain way. And,
Yeah.
I believe in consistency and that builds consistency. And, it's getting, like I said, it's getting 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids to buy into that, to do that. They're kids. I mean, they want to go out there and they think they can flip the switch. They think that they can talk about girlfriend, mom, dad, whatever when they're stretching, and then all of a sudden flip the switch and hey, we're playing and I'm ready mentally to play. And a lot of us, whether it's fair or not, a lot of high school baseball coaches call that summer league. They play summer league ball.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
get it because summer league nothing personal. I mean, it's not about whether you win or lose. It's
You're
about
getting
you getting
reps.
better and getting
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So and a lot of times, summer league teams are all-star teams. As you go out and you go out and recruit the best players, and a lot of times you beat other teams just because you're so much physically better than they are. And it's teaching them that they have to get mentally prepared and get ready to play each and every ball game. And you got to do it the same way. You can't be, oh, we're going to come out here and it's okay today to not get mentally prepared. It's okay to, be talking about girlfriend and all this stuff. Well, you're supposed to be getting mentally prepared to play the game. So
They're all getting the end of the fumes, car fumes and perfumes.
yeah,
So, but
I mean,
and as you say these things, and I'm thinking about this, something's really resonating, Coach. That because you've talked about before, they have to grow into these positions. And hey, we've got some sophomores playing varsity baseball,
exactly.
and it's not just the physical aspects, but it's that
It's the
learning the
mental.
mental thing of zoning in. I'm trying to think of something, maybe
Being
zone and
able to
focus.
zone out all distractions and
Yes,
being able to zone in to what and get
thank
focused.
you. Yeah,
But yeah,
so there's several steps of maturing
yes.
into a varsity player that hey, and I'll tell you what, it's they're doing well in spite of some of those
Oh
challenges,
yeah, they
aren't
are
they?
doing
Yeah,
well. They're doing
yeah,
well. I mean, I'm not,
yeah.
I'm never
Oh
going
no,
to say
and
that they're
you
not.
pointed that out. Yeah,
It's
you pointed
just,
that out.
it is just that, I want them to grow faster. You know,
Yeah,
I
I
like to
got
win.
you.
I like to win every game. Uh,
Yep.
and my thing is don't get mad at the end if you didn't do what you're supposed to from the beginning to give yourself a chance to win that game. That's what, don't get all pissed off at the end, and show being mad, when you didn't do what you needed to do before the
I
game,
see what you're
at the
saying.
beginning of the game to give yourself that chance to be successful and win the game.
It's a very
So
good point. So you got to start from the beginning of the game. Realize you look forward. I don't want to get just mad for the sake of getting mad. So let's start off the game in the right way. In
yeah,
fact, it goes to let's start off stretching and warming up in the right way.
exactly.
Hey,
Exactly.
you just help. I think a lot of people that thought process is very, very important. Yeah. Okay. Well, this coming week, you've got a home and away with Sam Houston. Home on Tuesday night,
Mhm.
away on Friday night.
Well, it's
Uh,
Thursday because of Good Friday.
oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I was home on Tuesday, away on Thursday. Very thank you.
Double
Um,
headers with the JVs on
on
Wednesday.
Wednesday, right? Well, we'll be there on Tuesday. I think we'll be able to pull off another T-Mobile powered broadcast on Tuesday for
Nice.
the home varsity game, and then and it's funny we still get listeners from all over the country, and
That's
one
awesome.
from Canada, and I think we have one from Mexico once in a while. But um,
Nice.
it's really cool. So, what's the message on a shorter week and just all things considered coming up to the
I mean, you
players?
just try we're gonna have the same Monday practice we always have.
Okay,
I like to be, I like to try to do the same things on the same days. I like that uniform. the kids know what we're going to do, and what we're going to work on. Then Tuesday we'll hit on the field. As long as weather's good, we'll hit on the field, and then we'll get the field fixed. And I'll let them go, give them what time to come back. JVs by probably will practice, so they'll end up getting the field fixed for us after we get done hitting. But you know, we're getting to the part of the season like Wednesdays is a big hitting day for us because the JVs
Okay.
play. So I hit fungo to them. Outfielders play it live off the bat. I hit fungo to the infielders. While their group's not if their group's not hitting. But we're going to hit like 2 or 3 times. You're going to hit 2 or 3 rounds. So it's a heavy hitting day. Get them fungo, play things live off the bat. And then the JVs are playing, so we're out of there by about 4:30. We're probably done by about 4 o'clock, maybe 4:10. Get the field done, and they're out of there by 4:30, 4:45. We're getting to the part of the season that we don't have to drill as much. It's more showing, catching, staying. I don't know how to say it. Staying. I don't want to say staying current, but we shouldn't have to spend 30 minutes on bunts.
Yeah.
We should be able to spend and review it very quickly. You know, um, though the way we fielded bunts on Saturday, maybe we do need to spend 30 minutes on it because that was not very good. But for the most part, it's about making sure that they're fresh, getting them the work they need to have, but also making sure that their bodies are fresh. I mean, we're into the middle of the season. I mean, I think looking back, I mean, we've got 8 district ball games, so you got 4 weeks, you got a month left. So that means we're 2 months into the season already. So, baseball is a very tiring sport. It may not be as physical as football, like the pounding part, but you're out on a baseball field for a very long time. And so you got to start managing kids' bodies a lot better. I mean, I try to manage them better.
Okay.
Than I was when I was a younger coach. You want to make sure they have fresh legs. You want to make sure you don't want them to be tired. So, like early in the season, their bodies are fresher, and plus you need to work. Practices are going to be longer. As the season goes on, practices should probably become a little bit shorter because you're not having to put as much work into like the first and thirds, the bunt coverages. Now you're going to touch on them and you're going to review them and make sure everybody still looks sharp. And if you don't look sharp, you'll spend the extra time on them, the more time. But you should look sharp. I mean, this stuff you've
But you're
done.
not learning it at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've done it.
Yeah.
So it's about looking sharp. It's about looking crisp, and then getting your work done, getting in and out so that their bodies are fresh.
Good deal. All right. Everyone pretty much healthy overall at this point?
I think so. Carson tweaked something, against Martin. He came in and pitched
Yeah.
really
Was it a side or something, I guess?
side or something.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from the trainers yet what they think. So I'll talk to them tomorrow at school and see
Sure.
what they think.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Coach, before we sign off, other than thanking the Booster Club and
Well,
for
I
everything
mean,
they do and fan support?
well, I'll tell you this much. I mean, you know, coaching kids is my favorite thing to do. It's the most fun. I love it. I love the kids I coach. I think I have the best kids at Lamar High School. Our baseball program has the best kids. I'm not trying to put down any other sport or
Sure.
anything like that. I just think our kids are the best kids at Lamar High School. And I enjoy that so much. It's hard to it's a balance between trying to push them to get better and win ball games, and then also not being too hard on them. And so I worry about that with me. I like to compete. I like to win. And as a head coach, you try to push the buttons. You try to get kids to perform a certain way. Sometimes it's clicking them mentally. You're pushing buttons to get them fired up, to get them focused. So I just worry about, am I too hard on them sometimes? And I try to talk to the kids, and most of them say no. Coach, you're good. Um, everyone I should say, everyone has that I've talked to said no, coach, you're good. But I'm just that's one of my worries. And I want our listeners to understand that these are things that coaches think about. I mean, I love these
Sure.
kids. I love these kids. My job is to push them and to get them better. But at the same time, my job is they need to know that I love them. And yeah, I want to win, but their 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 worth is not because of winning and losing baseball games. Their worth is
Right.
because they're being a good human being.
Amen.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
and so, those are things, I worry about, do I push too hard? Because I'm a demanding coach and, I want them to reach I want them to be successful and reach the heights that they can reach as a player. And so I'm going to push them to do that. And so, those are things as a coach, you wonder if you are too hard sometimes or too demanding. But, you know, as long as they know I love them, I think that's the key.
Coach, I'll say this, being associated with this program myself, 16, 17 years, whatever it is now, having two sons gone through the program, they have talked to me. I've talked with players, parents through all these years. You're not too hard on them. I think you've got a pretty good balance. So
Good.
there's
I'm,
just
I'm
some
hoping.
unsolicited feedback, and I
No, it
know it's
means a
still
lot to
gonna
me.
okay. And I know
No, that
you're
means a
still gonna
lot.
wonder about it, but yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a human being. I mean, and,
But
and I'm trying to push them and I'm trying to get them to play at the level that I know that they're
uh,
capable of playing at and all the time.
yeah,
And so, it's one of those things, but the biggest thing is I want, the whoever's listening to this, parents or whoever, that they understand that, the way our coaching staff feels is, yeah, we're going to push our athletes to be better. We're going to demand from them to be better. But when it all comes said and done, it's the worth of their worth is not about what they do on the baseball field. Their worth is about being a good human being.
it's the
And
life lessons we talk about.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so, you know, just let them know we love them and, and they mean the world to us.
And that comes right back to that adversity of, hey, how do they handle the noise to whatever at a certain ball game? And then the next time you play a few days later, oh, okay, I can tune some of that out. I don't have to let that get to me. And that's going to happen in life. And so y'all are doing a great job.
Well, thank you. I mean,
I really
I'm
think
lucky I
so.
have great coaches. They make my job easier. They're fantastic baseball coaches, Coach Goodman, Coach Gill, and Coach Viard. They do a
Yes,
fantastic job with our kids. It's the whole staff. I mean, you
sure.
know, it takes all of us. And like I said, I wouldn't we wouldn't nearly be as good if it wasn't for all those three guys. Uh,
Good team effort among all of
yeah,
y'all for sure.
and and our booster club, our booster club is incredible about
Oh,
being able to get us things that we want and need, and help make our program better. So I've always said it and I always believe it. I think I have the best booster club in the state of Texas, and
mhm.
you know hopefully we need more and more people doing work in the concession stand, more and more people getting involved in our booster club. We have a strong nucleus, but the more the merrier, and we need more and more and more people.
And I want to help emphasize, folks, it is fun. There's camaraderie, working the concession stand, running the scoreboard, setting up the flag, setting up the whatever. There's a lot of camaraderie and yeah, so everyone come join in on that for sure.
Yeah, so hopefully come out. Let's hopefully get 2 wins against Sam this week,
Yeah,
and put us 5-1 in district. Take each ball game serious. I mean, that's what hopefully we learned that lesson against Ennis, that you got to show up
yeah.
and play. And
Maybe that was
so
good timing when that happened.
hopefully, I mean, like I said, I'd rather it happen on a Saturday game than on a Tuesday or Friday. So
Definitely.
anyways,
All right.
come out and give us support and support these young men because they're great young men and they deserve it.
Yeah, they definitely do. Fill the stands with Viking fans. All right. Well, until next time, I'm Bill Frawley with head Viking baseball coach Paul Kino saying VFND.
VFND, bye y'all.